Saints fans. Welcome back to Talking Saints. It's game week.
All right, it's finally coming, and everybody in the world is ready for them New Orleans Saints.
On today's episode, we're going to be talking about the 53-man roster that's going to be rolling out onto the field this Sunday.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see it.
We're not going to break down every position. Some of them are kind of obvious. Some of them there's not really any. But we are going to go over some of our big surprises, some of our excited people that made, some of our excited picks in terms of like who made the roster.
We actually went with a lot of youth too, in some certain positions.
Got a lot younger, which talent does that
it's good
pan out? Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to go ahead and start off with quarterback. Obviously, quarterback was pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean, we knew who was going to make the roster. Honestly, Spencer Rattler showed us a lot in the first and third game of the preseason. Still kind of odd for Dennis Allen to say that he doesn't know who his quarterback 2 is, but I like that it kind of entices a little bit more competition.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. It's kind of a silly thing to like.
And then another interesting thing that I heard about that quarterback battle as far as the number 2 goes is that they're actually going to get in-season practice reps, something that the Saints have not done in the past, which should allow both quarterbacks to develop, which is very exciting for the future of the Saints quarterback situation.
Sure. I don't want to dwell too much on that because the quarterback room is not really a surprise other than Taysom Hill being listed as a quarterback. But
Right.
Yeah, I think that's for the emergency quarterback thing. But let's go ahead and move on to running back. Our running backs are other than Taysom, right? And we also have Adam Prentice at fullback.
Yep.
But our actual typical, your actual running backs, we have Alvin Kamara, Jamal Williams, and Jordan Mims.
Yeah, see, I like to see Jordan Mims. He's a versatile player, can play special teams, can catch some balls, pretty fast, pretty shifty. That third running back room was up in the air, that position, and he went and he won that battle.
Yeah, Kendrick's going to start the season off on IR, which is fine. I mean, we're disappointed that he didn't stay healthy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, him being on IR, he can come back. Even if he was like healthy next week, being on that IR allows him to kind of learn the playbook until he's ready to see the field because he is talented. We saw in that Falcons game. But unfortunately, we just didn't have time to just throw him in there.
Best ability is availability.
Exactly.
That's what they say.
Exactly.
We haven't got to see much of him. So hopefully he is able to get healthy, get out there, get up to speed, and start making a difference for this team.
Yep. And next up, we got tight end. We have Juwan Johnson, who I think has been practicing lately. He's been seeing the field. I know he had played some in that preseason game, but he should be ready to go for game 1. And
back ahead of schedule. He was he was kind of questioning, kind of leaning towards doubtful almost for week 1, but he got ready ahead of schedule and he should be ready to go. He had that little drop in the preseason, but he's just shaking some rust off.
We're not necessarily worried about that. You got Foster Moreau, obviously, who was doing great during the training camp. And you got Dallin Holker. Dallin Holker made the team. We kind of had predicted he was going to make the team.
Oh, yeah. He's a lot of potential.
There really wasn't anybody challenging him for that spot.
Yeah.
Michael Jacobson, who's on the
practice
around, squad.
Made it to the practice squad somehow.
Which, he's a rookie. He made rookie mistakes, rookie drops. If they see something in him, whatever. But I'm glad Holker's the one that made that position.
Yeah.
And those are our 3 tight ends, and then obviously again Taysom.
You
can kind of add
utility
Taysom.
Guy. He does a little bit of everything.
You can add Taysom to the back of the wide receivers and the tight ends and
quarterback,
left tackles and the
gunner,
the head coach,
the right tackle, hopefully
fans.
Right. He's 34 now. That's crazy to think he's the same age as Cam Jordan.
Yeah, but he does not been the playing as much in terms of the amount of snaps, so he's able to play for longer. If he would have been doing what he's done right now, every single snap, he wouldn't be around.
No.
But those are kind of our offensive weapons on the tight end room. Hopefully those guys can help block some. I know we kind of saw a little bit of it, but then we have our wide receiver room,
and really only one big surprise for me, but of course we had Chris Olave, we had Rashid Shaheed who was going to be ready for week 1. So
he's been practicing today.
We had our A.T. Perry. We predicted that one pretty early in the off season. I know some other guys weren't too high on him.
Yeah, Bub Means made the team as well. I
solid little preseason. Had a drop or two, but I mean, he was pretty consistent throughout the whole.
I agree.
I think he played the last 2 games.
Yeah, and he caught the ball and it went his way. Yeah. You know, a guy that we haven't seen much from, but everybody is, you know, the team is high on him is Cedric Wilson. He's making the team. Good for him.
Hopefully, he's got a role in Kyle Shanahan's offense that we haven't got to see yet.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. You know, I haven't seen much. I trust Kubiak.
Yeah,
I trust Kubiak.
And then the big surprise, who we were both high on during the training camp,
undrafted free agent out of Yale.
Yale, that's
coming in at 5'11" and 187 pounds. Mason Tipton.
And he's a speedy guy who he may even return a few kicks every now and then, but that's just exciting to see. You know, hearing the potential that he had through training camp, and then seeing him get injured and miss all 3 preseason games. You didn't know.
Yeah,
what we were going to see if we saw him.
The fact that he missed those games and he still made the team means the team is really high on him.
I haven't seen that happen at wide receiver since, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, and like you said, hopefully he can take some kick returns. You know, we had signed the running back from the Vikings, off of waiver wires.
Kene Naguanu.
Something like that. Your guess is as good as mine, but he failed his physical.
And that hurt because I was excited to see that return game was going to be electric with a first and second team All-Pro. Like,
I wonder what it means that, like, I'd probably fail my physical for the Saints. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder what cut him off. You know what I mean?
I don't know. He may have had some sort of injury last year. We could probably do a little bit of research, but either ways, I don't think it's important anymore. He's not coming to play for us.
I'm not necessarily worried about it. We'll figure something out.
Jordan Mims and Mason Tipton, one of those guys will get back there.
Mason Tipton and them. I'm excited to see him. But that's our offensive lineup for there. Yeah. But the guys protecting those, our quarterback, I'm a little worried about still. A
lot of surprises, dude. First of all, Kyle Ergel and Shane Lamo. Everything I heard about them was that they were locks to make the teams. That they were one of the few bright spots.
I wouldn't even say that.
Starters.
I would say they were locks to make a team because there was nothing else, which is not a good thing.
They went an entirely different direction, and I think that they'll have to add somebody to the game day roster.
Yeah,
I think some of them made it back to the practice squad, and they'll probably get elevated for game day.
We'll see. I'm imagining Taysom's playing guard, but speaking of guard, Ruiz made the team, McCoy made the team, Fuaga made the team. Those are kind of our set guys.
Penning and Udo.
Yeah, Penning made the team, which,
And Landon Young. Those are our 3 kind of set in stone tackles there.
Yeah, and Salvadori. Yeah, he made the team. He actually started practicing again today.
Yeah, he hopefully he's ready for week 1. I think he'll be out there. He'll find a way.
So, with just Young, Penning, Fuaga at tackle, like I said,
Lucas Patrick at guard.
Guard. And I think that's it. Looking at our list, kind of a short list. 8 linemen. Don't know if I feel about that.
Well, they'll pull some guys up from the practice squad.
I would have thought. I would have thought we would have brought someone on by now to add that extra, but we'll see.
Yeah, it'd need to be like today or tomorrow if they do it.
Yeah,
so they can get ready for this weekend.
But that's our offense. Whether you like it or not, whether you're ready or not, we're about to march onto the field out there. There's the episode copyrighted. Gone.
Reduced to atoms.
But that's gives me some concern in terms of that
O-line makes you a little nervous. I know we can scheme and kind of counteract it a little bit, but eventually you're going to face a defensive line that's you're just not going to be able to handle with that unit.
But we'll see. Maybe the new scheme, all that, we'll see how it pans out. And if they have to add more, I'm sure they're just trying to test it out and, hopefully we don't have any trouble against the Panthers. I heard that their secondary is just maybe historically bad.
They got J.C. Horn.
They had 6 people picked up off the waiver wire that were corners. I think it was 5. It was 4 to 6.
Their pass rush, they went
really bad.
From Brian Burns to Jadeveon Clowney. I mean, that's a big fall off.
I'd rather go to fight up against Clowney. And then they also got
anybody would.
their line. I mean, hopefully we shouldn't have any problem against them, and we'll try to do a little episode about them, kind of breaking down the matchup here on Thursday. We'll film on Thursday. The episode, you won't see the episode until maybe Friday
night.
But that's not the strength of our team though. Our offense, hopefully it's a surprise for us, a happy surprise. But the stars of our team are our defense. Our D-line, corners, all that. There's so much depth this year, especially at linebacker and corner. So, we're going to go down this list, and, I mean, I'm comfortable with it. I'm excited to see these guys on the field.
Oh, yeah.
So, on our D-line, we got our main guys in Peyton Turner.
And Isaiah Foskey.
Yeah. No. Which actually, yeah.
They didn't have the greatest performances. The fan base is, I'm not even going to say split on them. Let's say the fan base is about almost out to get them.
Yeah, I'm higher on Turner than I am Foskey.
I think I am too. If there was a stat, in the preseason for somebody who almost got a sack and then figure out how not to get a sack, that'd be Peyton Turner.
Yeah.
He got some pressure, but he can't finish, dude. He needs some Blue Chew or something.
Who knows, man. But fortunately, hopefully, we don't have to see those guys as starters because we still got Carl Granderson, Chase Young, and Cam Jordan. And those guys, Cam and Peyton Turner, they've kind of been moving into that defensive tackle, which, for our defensive tackles, we got Brzee and Boyd, Saunders, Shepard. But a surprise, we made a trade this week.
We traded a 6th for a 7th and a player.
Yeah, and that's John Ridgeway from the Commanders, right?
Commanders, yeah. And I guess, I don't know what you'd consider that. I guess that's a 6th round pick we gave up. But
I mean, I'm okay with it. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not like you're gonna pick. Yeah, I actually went and
those picks will be traded usually.
Anyways. Yeah. We're not gonna. We even get it. We get an extra 7th anyway, so we'll probably trade those 2 7ths for whatever.
Yeah.
Which means I guess technically we'll have like 3 7ths
next year.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But Ridgeway, I went on. He kind of looks like Brian Brzee here a little bit.
Yeah.
Ridgeway is. I went on to their Commanders subreddit just to kind of see what fans, that and Twitter to kind of figure out what their fans think. And their fans are, they obviously he's kind of a rotational piece, but they were all kind of like, whenever he was given the opportunity, he made the most of it. All of them had good things to say, like, that's kind of a weird. I wish we wouldn't have traded him. He wasn't their starter, but he's still
valuable. And I think that it probably would have never happened if Colleen Saunders didn't get his calf injury.
Probably. I know the team likes Boyd, and Boyd, hasn't played too bad. He's kind of that. I mean, he's a big boy, 6'2", 320 pounds. But Ridgeway. I think the Saints were high on him back in the wherever draft he was in 3 years ago. He was in the Senior Bowl, and the Saints like those Senior Bowl guys. So I'm sure they probably would have taken him if they had the opportunity a couple of years ago. But who knows? But he's on the team now. We traded for him, and that's a pretty good D-line.
Yeah. I like Brzee and Shepard at defensive tackle. I think they're both a little underrated.
Dude, Brzee's
gonna be
so
He's
good.
Got that dog in him. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, results are back. He does in fact have that dog in him.
Right.
PT scan or what is it? CAT scan has confirmed
the photo of Brian Brzee with the dog in his chest. I have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. I probably just got cut out of
Cut that. No. The next position, which I'm actually pretty happy about, especially because of the amount of depth we had, is a linebacker. And we had a preseason fan favorite make the team there too. The Orgy.
Anthony. Yeah, that's exciting. We got Anthony Orgy and DeMarco Jackson both made the team, which is exciting.
And Jalen Ford.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the rookie Jalen Ford, kind of out of nowhere. We didn't get to see too much of him in the preseason.
I'm imagining he's definitely that extra special teams guy.
Yeah, for now. But I mean,
I wonder
develops into something else later down the road.
He played really well when he was at Texas. He wasn't a bad player, but I wonder what the actual roster would have looked like if the kickoff rule didn't change.
I know.
Because a lot of this, I guarantee you there's a couple of picks. Like, I wonder if the Tipton,
Like, we
Mims.
probably keep 4 linebackers instead of, what did we keep? 6?
Yeah, we have 6 linebackers with Willie Gay, Pete Werner, and DeMario added to that list we were talking about earlier.
Those 3 guys are studs.
Yeah, and I'm, if one of them, oh, man, I got hit in the chest a little too hard, but I'm gonna be okay. I'm not gonna say anything crazy. Oh man, I gotta go sneeze on the sideline for a second.
They can sub those guys in and out and keep them fresh. Although I don't want to see DeMario off the field.
No, I mean, give him a little bit of a break. Let the man's 35 now. It's crazy to think about.
He's Iron Man, bro. You don't take.
He's so good, dude. It's insane. But no, I agree with you. Or hopefully that Mario and Willie Gay and Pete Werner never have to leave the field in terms of those are always our guys. But if they do, Orgy looked really, really good. DeMarco's one of those guys that, special teams, and he's obviously made an impact. But, linebacker is a position I am happy with. But moving along, we're going to go find our cornerbacks. Hold on one second.
I love our cornerback room.
Hold on one second. This is all. So next up, we have our cornerbacks. And obviously from our starters, we have Marshawn, Adebo, Alante, Kool-Aid are drafted.
And is he back yet to practice? Or
I think he's not practicing. It may be they said he should be ready for game 1. I'm not sure. I don't want to quote it on that.
I mean, even if he's not, we have our undrafted free agent.
Rico Payton.
Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, what a great story.
What a cool name, bro.
And the reports from training camp and the mini camp was that he was okay. He was kind of like the 6th or 7th corner, but then he got game action in the preseason, and he was one of the brightest spots on our roster.
He tore it up.
He was insane. Like I think PFF graded him as like the number 1 cornerback, and like most targeted too. On top of that, the preseason, he was phenomenal.
He's definitely the like epitome of like take what opportunities you have and run with them.
It kind of reminds me of an Isaac Yiadom, where you're like, who's this guy? And then he goes out there and makes a name for himself.
Except even then, we didn't realize Isaac Yiadom was good until the actual season.
Yeah,
I think Alante went out for a play or two, or Debo or whoever, and he came in and played, and we were like, who's this guy?
Even then, I think we were like, why isn't Ugo Amadi in there?
Yeah, and Yiadom played really well. He had the most passes. I mean, very, very Rico Payton-ish. Balls were been thrown his way, but he broke them up. I think he had the most pass breakups last year, if not mistaken.
And even one that didn't make the team was Shamar Jean Charles, and he looked really, really good too.
And let me double check. Should be up to date, but I'm pretty sure. Yep, Mr. Shamar Jean Charles is not on our practice squad
which is an absolute crime.
I would have meant is that's if that's his doing, if he decided he didn't want to come to our practice squad.
He wants to go and play ball somewhere. I feel like he deserves it.
Sure. I mean,
I'm surprised the Panthers didn't claim him. They're always looking at our guys.
Isn't that weird? I mean,
they claimed a whole bunch of corners.
I'm trying to see who. We don't even have.
We don't have a corner?
We don't have a corner in there. I guess Millard Bradford would be our. I guess Abram, Ugo. I guess Ugo would be the guy we'd bring up. But anyways.
That's another surprise, too. Neither Jonathan Abram or Ugo Amadi made the team.
Very surprising. Ugo's not but Jonathan Abram is a surprise because everybody had him.
I thought he had won the starting job.
Yeah. I think they're still, even though he didn't look great, I think they're still high on Howden.
But even then, Will Harris to play the best in the preseason. I mean, our safety room, out of every position in our defense, our safeties, we have Tyrann, who's, really good. We knew Howden was going to be on the team.
JT Gray is kind of, he's not really
he's just a special team player. I hate to say it, but he's been around with us for a long time, and
where is JT
truthfully, he's not, he might be a liability out there. So we want to just see him play special teams.
They were just listed as defensive backs. So JT Gray, Will Harris, and Jordan Howden, and Tyrann on our safeties.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, I could see us picking up somebody. I'm sure there's somebody
I could
available,
definitely
but
feel a little bit better about that. But
yeah,
you know,
I hope
I
Will
mean,
Harris does.
Tyran's great. You're gonna have some really good corners out there. So I think they can. When we talk about Clint Kubiak scheming up around the offensive line, I think Dennis Allen with the secondary he has, having one just league average position at safety back there, I think we'll be all right.
I agree. And that about covers it for our defense. Very comfortable with that defensive unit.
A lot of surprises.
Yeah, I think just based off what we've seen from our D line, D line has definitely been our weakness these past couple of years.
Yeah.
Cam Jordan obviously is not. He's getting older. He's not getting any better.
I think he'll be a lot more useful in that rotational sense. Where
and he's still a fantastic run stopper.
Yeah, he is.
And I think that's just because the defensive end or defensive tackle doesn't have a sack, in their stat sheet doesn't mean that they're bad.
Yeah.
There's other ways to determine success at that D line position, and run stopping is huge.
He'll tell you he's a true defensive end. He's not just an edge rusher. He stops the run. He puts pressure on mobile quarterbacks without straight blitzing. So what you'll see a lot of times is you'll see that mobile quarterback roll out, and you'll see Cam Jordan come out and contain that edge until he gets linebacker help or makes that running quarterback throw the ball down the field.
But like I said, very comfortable with that defensive unit. Special teams, two that we kind of figured. There was obviously a little bit of a kicking battle, but Group A did win it. He earned it.
He earned it. He did great in the preseason. Every time they called on him, he hit that field goal. He hit that extra point. He showed us he could hit from 54. I don't think he would have hit from 57, but anything within 55 yards. Play Group A, he's a solid kicker. So
and you can't blame a kicker for missing from 60. Not everybody can be Justin Tucker.
He's not capable of that. But
if he's consistent from about 50 and below, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But another guy that made the team. This is an obvious one. Mr. Zach Wood, the lowest rated Madden player year after year.
Snubbed. He should be a part of the 99 club.
I think, if when is Madden going to have an actual long snapper position in Madden?
I don't know.
The long snappers just, I guess, they don't care. They don't care. But, Zach Wood, consistent, great leader. He's just a cool guy. We've talked to him once. We yelled at him, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks, guy." We actually yelled something about the Madden. We were like, "Don't worry, Zach. We boost your score in Madden." He turns and he's like, "Thank you." And that was the coolest experience with Zach Wood ever.
Alante Taylor loved our Madden reference too.
Yeah, they're all.
We told Alante Taylor that we boosted him in Madden and that we were playing with him as a user and got like 12 picks.
We actually did. I'm pretty sure. He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks guys." But the big surprise on the actual special teams, and not necessarily big surprise.
No, it was a big surprise to me. I think it was a surprise to even some of the other Saints media guys too.
Lou Hedley lost his job.
That's crazy.
Which is sad. Because I think he's a very personable person.
He wasn't great, but I mean, I shouldn't have been surprised. He stole the job from Blake Gillikin last year, and we had the same reaction.
Yeah, I'm still not even set on A-ball. We'll see when he. And it all matters during game time. You can see him practice.
We need some consistency, please. That's what we need. I mean,
we should never have gotten rid of Morstead.
Right?
That's the main thing.
Hedley had some inconsistency last year in the preseason. Gillikin, his last year with us, he had.
I was really hoping Blake Gillikin made the team last year, so we could have Blake Group A and Blake Gillikin.
That would have been cool.
The Gillies.
Yeah. And then Will Lutz went and had a great year last year too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Group A's fine. Group A we can develop, and he'll be around for
growing pains last year, but I mean that's gonna happen when you're 5'5". I mean,
he really didn't even have a bad season. He missed that one. But we should have never been in position for him to lose that game.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's our roster. Whether you like it or not, that's it. I mean, it could change. We could add people. We could pull some people up from that practice squad. But other than that, that's about it. Our starters are starters. And,
Good mix of youth and old people, I guess.
Old people. Good use of youth, and those old people like, oh, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill's going to be out there with a cane.
I like that we kept the roster competitive and kind of slowly started to help our cap situation.
Yeah, I was going to say,
at the same time.
We totally could have went out and just bought, spend as much money as we could.
It feels like we didn't, sell our souls or anything. Like, it feels like...
I think our team's better this year than it is last year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels...
O-line maybe not.
Like we got better.
I would say almost every position we're better. Safety Marcus May, but he really was injured a lot last year. And then O-line's definitely scary.
Jonathan gone too.
But, who knows? I think
he's still around.
I think our O-line last year with Pete Carmichael is worse than our O-line this year with Kubiak.
Even though I think we might have had...
Still not great.
With Hurst and Pete and Ramczyk, I think we might have had better personnel on the O-line last year. But I think scheme-wise, health-wise, I think we're trending up.
Yeah, I really hope the days of, okay, we're going to do a screen pass, then we're going to run it up the middle because that screen pass didn't work.
And then on third down, we got the tight end screen to...
a quarterback draw.
We're just thankful to have the support that we've had from you guys. Hype Video reached 1,100 videos. We have the ability to win an award, which is crazy to think about. We started at the end of April, and here we are. We expected to have maybe 100 subscribers by the start of the season, and we're about to hit 130, which is exciting stuff. We got some cool things up on the horizon. We got in-game interviews for you guys. We're going to be traveling to some places.
Interviewing rival fans.
We have a Do You Know Your Enemy segment, which will be exciting stuff on top of interviews. And we just want to thank all you guys for liking and commenting and sharing and putting that notification bell on so you know when our videos come out. We just appreciate all the support from you guys, to be honest.
Exactly. Alex, you got anything else for us?
No, man, that's pretty much it. Just when you see us at the Saints games, come and find us. We'll more than likely have our Talking Saints shirt on. Maybe we'll have a koozie to spare. Give you a little interview. You get to be a part of our show. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. You got kind of a little bit of a preview of that. Got to see a little preview of that recently when we went to that preseason game. So we're excited to keep doing that and kind of get better at it as time goes on. But we already had a pretty interesting experience with a fan. The guy had fallen down, but he was all good. We checked on him, but he even gave us a little thumbs up in the video. Awesome. But anyways, guys, that's it for this episode, and we'll see you Sunday.